Hey crafty friends, Adrienne Boese here. Today I'm going to be sharing my tips and tricks for creating a shabby chic pocket page album using various Scrapbook.com supplies as well as Prima Marketing's In the Moment collection. So let's get this camera turned around and get started. I start by trimming down one of the 12 by 12 patterned papers from the In the Moment collection to fit a 6 by 8 open page protector. This will become a title page on the front and a page for a photo on the back. Rather than looking through my papers when I go to create each page, I like to plan out the base papers and photos first. You'll see I've already added some of the photos of my niece to this album, and then I picked out a bunch of the 3x4 journaling cards from the same collection. I inserted the ones I liked best, then hung on to some of these journaling cards to die cut from. Prima always gives you multiples of each journaling card, and you can use them for so much more than just pocket pages or artist trading cards, and die cutting is one of those uses. For a few of the pockets, I also cut down some of the papers from the 6x6 paper pad. I created a small flap for one of these 3x4 pockets by trimming some paper to 3 inches wide by 6 inches long, then scoring at the 4-inch mark. The smaller flap just adds a little dimension and interest to a pocket page. Once all of the pockets are filled with pictures and base layer papers, it's time to decorate. I like to die cut a bunch of my favorite elements out ahead of time so that I can just reach in and grab what I want. All of these dies are from Scrapbook.com, and the solid cardstock cuts are from the Boho Smooth Cardstock Pad. I place all of these die cuts and the ephemera from Prima's collection into the Scrapbook.com stack and sort trays to keep them organized and at hand. My goal with this project is to show you some ways to add elements that may be considered unexpected for a pocket page album. I used to think of them as a very modern way of scrapbooking because of the grid layout, but that doesn't mean you can't add touches of mixed media or give it a shabby chic vibe, both of which I do in this tutorial. So to the title page, I added some modeling paste through Scrapbook.com's Botanical Sprigs stencil for a bit of mixed media. Then I used my Sizzix Surfaces multi-tool to distress the edges of the paper for that distinctly shabby chic vibe. I distressed the edges of nearly every paper or cardstock mat that goes into this album and added some modeling paste to other papers. We'll come back to the title page in a moment because the rest of the elements will be glued to the page protector. So let's move to the back side where there will be a photo. I mat the photo with a piece of solid cardstock and permanent adhesive. You can see that I like to look through my ephemera and pick out some pieces that I think may be nice. After playing with the elements a bit, I decided on a layered look that combines ephemera, some scraps of patterned paper, and die cuts. I like to fussy cut off some of that white halo from my ephemera, and the Scrapbook.com ergonomic scissors are perfect for this task. When gluing things down to the page, I do like to use the dotted adhesive. That way, if I need to adjust the placement of anything, I still have time to do that. This adhesive does have some work time, but becomes permanent after setting. I also use the 1mm thick 1/4 inch foam adhesive to pop some of the elements up. Some other elements that might be unexpected are paper flowers. The smaller, less dimensional flowers, like the In No Time flowers from this Prima collection, are perfect because you can easily tuck them under paper embellishments like ephemera. To add the delicate die cuts, I use a few drops of Scrapbook.com's Artiste glue. After sliding the page back into the page protector, I work on gluing the title page elements down. I added the title Love and used Scrapbook.com's Solar White cardstock to cut it from, gluing 3 layers together for each letter for some dimension. You can see me gluing the last layer on the L here. Then I glued the letters down with Artiste glue and some ephemera with permanent adhesive and foam adhesive. As I work through the rest of the album, you'll see that I added other things, such as stamped sentiments using Distress Oxides and Scrapbook.com's Sweet Expressions stamp. I use those same techniques of building little embellishment clusters on each page. Sometimes those clusters are glued to the base paper layer and then inserted into the pocket page. Other times those embellishment clusters get adhered to a die-cut circle that gets glued to the outside of the pocket page. Another unexpected element that you can add to a pocket page album is stitching. I used my sewing machine to add stitching to some of the base papers. I like to leave the long strings of thread rather than trimming them down because it adds to that shabby chic look. Some of the other pieces from Prima Marketing collections that I think are great for pocket page albums are their stickers. To this page, I added a chipboard sticker to the outside of a pocket page. I also found one on the regular sticker sheet that I thought would be nice on a previous page I worked on, so I went back and added that. Another element that I think is fun for pocket page albums are tabs. These tab dies from Scrapbook.com allow you to cut tabs out from coordinating cardstock and patterned papers. I layer up these heart ones. I cut the top layer on the fold. This makes it easier to fold the bottom layer without shifting or ripping the top layer. My last thoughts on pocket page albums as you watch me work a bit more is that it's okay to work on these pages in a non-linear fashion. You can see that I do that here. Inspiration and creativity in and of itself is most often non-linear, so go with the flow and allow yourself to go back and add or adjust something or jump forward to another page when a bright idea hits you. By going with the flow, it can lift the pressure we sometimes feel when creating, whether that pressure is to get something done for time's sake or to come up with new ideas. So follow that creative process and just enjoy the moment. Creativity and crafting isn't just about the end result. It's also about the creative process along the way and enjoying the time you spend crafting. Before I close out this video, I just wanted to flip through these pages to show you the end result. I hope that this tutorial helps you feel like Prima Marketing's products are more accessible and that they aren't just for mixed media canvases, but they're for scrapbooking too, even pocket page albums. Until next time, happy crafting!